Your grandmother has been injured, and you end up staying the night in her rather creepy house. Only to be chased around by a creepy girl with long black hair that is trying to kill you. That is basically the premise of Hollow Cocoon, and I went in not quite sure if it would be a great game, but I was hoping for the best. In the end, I was pleasantly surprised by the story. I found it really interesting, and it was well delivered in the just about 3 hours it took me to finish a playthrough. In the game, you play Minato Jinba, who returns to his mother's hometown after getting news of his grandmother being found injured and being in critical condition. Your father is with her at the hospital, and Minato ends up staying the night in his grandmother's house, only to learn he's not alone, and in fact a horrid monster stalks the house and the old manor on the property at night. Unable to leave, Minato is forced to hide from the monster while learning about the dark history of the estate, the secret of his grandmother and late grandfather, and the people who once lived there. While the game is on the shorter side, I found it to be a good length for the story it was trying to tell. The house and the manor look absolutely lovely, showing a nice contrast between the 1980s home of the grandmother and the old Japanese manor. Visually, this kind of felt like a first-person Project Zero or a Fatal Frame game, just with better textures, managing to be both new and familiar for anyone who has really played horror games in Japanese settings. The monster itself was alright. I quite quickly got numb to it, though it did give me several good scares. She constantly stalks around the area you're in, searching for you, meaning you are never safe and you constantly have to listen out for her footsteps and most notably her breathing. She kinda borders on Darth Vader level loud, so she is a little bit hard to miss, but that doesn't mean she isn't scary. As breathing is your main way to track her, you will quickly learn that your own character is also breathing. I ended up having several tense moments where I wasn't sure if I was hearing her breathe or my character breathe. This could be really tense when trying to cross the more open areas of the game, and from the moment she lays eyes on you, she's gonna scream and try to chase you down. Now, on the regular difficulty, it's not too terribly hard to outrun her and find a hiding place, but on the higher difficulty, she is apparently a lot faster, making stealth even more important. There are few scripted moments where she is made to find you, but most of the time I got to wander around solving puzzles and gathering up the lore, while also trying to avoid her the best I could. And it really made for some lovely tense moments. There is the one thing I don't like about the game, and that is the 10 yen minigames that you can find in several places. So, Hollow Cocoon has multiple endings, and when playing the game for the first time you will have 2 of them available. But if you want the extra ending, and one of them is apparently meant to be the true ending, you need to get victory tickets. So there are 2 ways to get them. One, I got by just playing through the story. I ended up finding a victory ticket, and as they're added to your menu store instead of your character inventory, they will stay with you across playthroughs. But the main way you're meant to get these victory tickets is by playing the 10 yen games. All over the game you will find 10 yen coins, and you can use them in these coin games, which you can find in sometimes just really stupid places that kinda just annoyed me. But what annoyed me even more was I am just terrible at these minigames, to the point I never managed to win a single one. To get the true ending, you need these points to use in the starting menu shop, because there you can buy silly things like different hair color or glasses for the monster, but also vital items needed to unlock the true ending. And while I like the story and the gameplay, I don't like it enough to play through the minigames several times to get the currency needed to unlock the true ending. or to play through the game in its entirety several times to get the currency that way. Still, overall I think the story is interesting. The game itself is beautiful and the monster felt overall fair but challenging at times. I like that he actually wanders around, that he doesn't despawn. And when I was hiding, I never felt like she was sticking around too long. Though the earlier area of the game is small, so then it felt like she was always really close to me, but when I got into the later stages of the game, she has more area to roam, which made it easier to avoid her. So the game had me on edge at times and just kept me pretty engaged throughout it. So for the content I played, I really enjoyed it. I might even return to it one day to finish up some more runs of the game, just to get the currency I need, just to get the true ending. Honestly, I am happy with the ending I got. But if you're interested in a short stealth horror game focused on reading lore and solving some simple puzzles, then Hollow Cocoon is definitely worth it. It's also really fairly priced at only $15. What do you think? Is Hollow Cocoon something you would be interested in playing? Have you played it yourself, and what were your thoughts? And what are you playing these days? Let's talk about it all in the comments, and while you're down there, make sure to do the good YouTube stuff, like, subscribe and so on. But whatever you do, I just wanted to say, tack för att horva och sjáumst näst.